Hello everybody. Today I am going to talk to you about the Pantone color of the year. It is called Peach Fuzz and it's 13-1023, and I'm always doing research on the color of the year. Not only the Pantone, but the paint colors, as far as, Sherwin-Williams indoor paint colors, like for your walls. I love to have my place looking nice inside around my surroundings. And I think we're very sensitive to our surroundings. So I always like to be able to keep a fairly neutral color on my walls and then be able to come in with these trendy colors and freshen up my space. So this year, the Pantone color of the year is Peach Fuzz. And I'm going to show you all the different mixed medias that I personally own and swatch them out for you. So this is really cool. So stay tuned and we'll get to that in a minute. So when I seen this color, and I was really excited about it, and I really thought I could get behind it because it's a color that you naturally see occur in nature. I see it in sunrises and sunsets and at the beach and shells and in flowers. So I was really excited about it. So I went scavenging through my supplies and I picked out some colors that were like this or similar to this. And it turns out most mediums have a color that is a peachy or a peach fuzz color. So first I dug into my watercolors, and the only watercolor I had that was pre-mixed that was similar to this color was, I had a little tube of Holbein, and it was one brilliant two. One brilliant two. And this is, I'm sure there's other colors out there. And as a matter of fact, I think I seen a color, an American Journey color, when I was at Cheap Joe's, but I cannot remember the name of it. So I'm just going to swatch this out. Let me zoom in so you can see. And a little bit later on, we're going to color mix. And this is not exactly, I think this is a little bit more on the orange side than it is the peachy side. But this is where we'll start. And this is a watercolor. So we will take a brush and we will pull this out. And like I said, I think this one is a little bit more on the orange side. Let's see what pigments they have in it. See if I can read it. It's in Chinese or Japanese. No, PR108 and PO20 and PW6. So it's got white and a red and orange in it. So it's the white that cools it off and desaturates it. So that is a really close color, I believe. So that is a really pretty color. So the next one I have, and I've got some really cool things I've found. The next one I found is a gouache, and it is called Pale Rose Blush. And it has PV19, PO72, and PY92, and PW6. So kind of the similar colors. Looks like it has a little bit more pink to it. This is more like a, that's why it's called pale rose. But that would make pretty flowers as well. And that's a gouache. That's a Winsor & Newton gouache. You can thin it out like a watercolor. Pretty, pretty color. I am really loving these peachy colors. So right away when I seen that, and like I said, I always go looking for trendy colors coming up because, you know, I'm always looking to freshen up my house and stuff with different decor and stuff. So here is a Neo Color 2, and it's called Salmon. And it is along the same lines as those colors. And I found out that, you know, these colors, they really go with any other color. They go with your navies, they go with your greens. I found some pictures, I'll show you after a while, where, you know, that they just look beautiful with just about any color you put them with. So this Neo Color 2 is water soluble, and you can take a water brush or a watercolor brush with water and pull that out. So you really can go mixed media with this. Get my paper towel. Alright, so then I went and got my watercolor pencils. And I thought, okay, what do I have? And I had several. I have the Faber Castell Albrect Durer. And so, but you can find these colors in any watercolor pencils. And the first one I picked out that I thought was similar was called Medium Flesh. And it's a little bit pink. A little bit on the pinker side. And these are really good. They just really dissolve well with water. Isn't that pretty? I think that would be so beautiful for a rose. You know, I'm thinking a rose or the inside of a shell. I went to Florida recently and I really noticed the insides of shells and, you know, the flowers down there. This one is called Cinnamon. It's got a little bit more brown in it, but still a pretty peachy color. Doesn't take much water to dissolve these. These are really good pencils. I'll link them below if you want to start collecting some. They do sell them open stock at art supply stores, and I think on Amazon as well. They're just really good watercolor pencils that really dissolve on contact. Now you can't really dig in, you know, with the tip. I go on the side of the pencil and I just lay it down easy with a light touch. And then once it dries, if you're not dark enough, you go back over it. I really love these watercolor pencils. And you can always go from side to side too in a different direction and get some more pigment down. Okay, this one is called Light Flesh. Okay, let's get a little bit of water, dry it on a paper towel. And it is so light, but it is that color of the peach fuzz. This would be perfect to make peaches with. Now see, that's going to really lighten up and lift, so you can barely see it on camera. Barely. I would have to go in. That is so light. I don't even know if I'd mess with that one because it's so light. You could start out with it. Let me see if I can lift it up so you can see. It is so light. It might be a good first layer. Might be a good first layer for something. Okay, so then I got colored pencils and I pulled some out. And I will start over here because this might be the same tone as this brownish tone, cinnamon. And these are, oh no, these are, this one right here is a pastel pencil. And they do not have color names, they just have numbers. And this number is 680. And it is more of a brown, a brownish. So it may not be, and see they'll blend out. So I don't know if that's going to be in the same color family or not. It could go with it, definitely. Okay, so let's look at this next pastel pencil. And it's 631. And it's really light as well. It's about the same color as this over here. I don't know, can you guys see it? I'll have to hold it up. This is a pastel pencil. And pastel pencils you can blend really well. So maybe I should have gotten a pink out too to blend with that. But see, that's almost a beige. So it's very neutral. But maybe if you mix that with maybe your watercolor pencil, and then went in with your brush, you might be able to, yeah, because see, pastels, they're kind of water soluble. Yep. Oh, that kind of works. That kind of works. So definitely think about mixing your mediums. So far, I'm personally like this, but I think this is more the Pantone color of the year. We'll compare them. Okay, so the next one I got is Prismacolor pencils, and this one actually is called Peach. Let's get a new page here. This one is called Peach. And actually, I think this is about the color of the Pantone color of the year. I don't know. It might be a little dull, but that's pretty. And you can put as much pigment as you want on there. This is watercolor paper, so it is got more tooth than you would normally use with a colored pencil. This color is called Salmon Pink. Okay, so this might be more of the color. I always say that, but we'll compare them. I'll throw it up after each one I do. And you can make the decision. And they said, you know, not everybody will use these exact tones. The purpose of having a Pantone color of the year is so they can sell their formula to companies to make money. sell chipbooks to paint stores, so they can, you know, they kind of develop a formula for getting that particular color. I actually went on their website and downloaded all, not all the pictures, some I got from Unsplashed. Okay, I went back and labeled everything, and I'll take a picture of this and put it at the end of the video. So if you want to, you can go and you can take a screenshot and get all these colors if you like them. And I'll list them in the description below. Okay, so this is a Prismacolor, and it's a pencil on its own. It's pretty. It's really pretty. It's a little pinker. This one's called Light Peach, so I'll put that here. Prismacolor Light Peach. And having this could be very useful. Okay, so I've got Salmon Pink I've done, and Peach I've done, and Light Peach I've done. And this one is Nectar. Oh, I thought this might be close. It's pretty pink. But I went, you know, I just went by what I thought. This is pretty pink. This is going to be too pink. I think we're right here, or right here, between these two. And this one is called Nectar. It's a Prisma. But I still think it'd be a beautiful color for sunrises, sunsets, shells, flowers. Okay, so the next color I have will be, I've got these pastels. These are Unison pastels. And I just picked out colors that I thought were closest to it. So some might be more orange, and some might be spot on, and some might be more pink. So this color is called P2. These are soft. These are just luscious. I got these for Christmas one year. Oh, they just blend in so well. I do have to get that chalk off my finger. You know, a lot of people don't like that pastels because of that. But there are tools to blend in with. And if you're interested in that, leave me a comment below. And I can do a pastel video because I love working with pastels. But sometimes they get like kind of chalky and dusty. But they really got the pigment. So this is a Unison, and it's called, what did I do with it? Okay, it's called P2. P2. Okay, here is a Unison, and it's P4. Very similar. Very similar. It's a little bit more orange, I think. Oh, but so pretty. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be wonderful for a sunset to mix with your yellow and then this and then, you know, your sky color, like a purplish color. I think Moonglow goes really well with these. So I'm interested in trying that in the future. This is Unison P4. Okay, and I'm not sure. I think this is a Sennelier color. And I took off the, you know, they didn't have labels around them. They were just in a box, you know what I mean? So, but I am going to put that that's a Sennelier. And it looks like a salmon or a, it's really pretty. It's really, really pretty. That would be perfect for the inside of shells. I am just still stuck on Florida. I want to go back so bad. So this last color I have is called P1. And it's a unison color. And it's real peachy. It is real peachy. I mean, that is really good. And that's a unison. These just blend in so well, and they just look like velvet on the paper. Unison P1. Okay, in a minute, I've got just a couple more, and then in a minute we are going to try to color, mix some of these colors with watercolor. Okay, my next one I have is acrylics. So the first one I have is this salmon. It's Matisse color, and I'm just going to dip my brush down in there with my little silicone tool here that I got off of Amazon. I'll link these below. And this is sort of a pinky peach. It's a Matisse fluid acrylic. It's called Australian Salmon Gum. I thought it was really pretty. It's about the color of this Sennelier. Let's get some of that. And I bet it is so much that I'm going to put it right by it. Yep, it looks just like that color, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to put that, I'm going to write that down and remember that, because that is a good peachy color. And you could desaturate that with white. Let me go get some white and we'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this Australian Salmon Gum, and I got some titanium white. Let's see. I'm going to get some of that. And I'm going to get some titanium white. And I just grabbed the first one I've seen. This is a Winsor & Newton Galleria acrylic. You can get it just about anywhere. And I'm going to kind of mix this up and see if I can't get a more peachy color. And I expect this to knock this back quite a bit, and it does, just with a little bit of white. So let me put that over here. See, it makes it more of the inside of a shell color, just mixed with a little bit of white. And then if I got some yellow ochre here. I thought, okay, what makes peach, yellow, and red? And you gotta go with the right yellow and reds. Okay, that's just a little bit of yellow ochre. And let's mix that in there. And we ought to be able to get, oh, this is nice. And that's a peach. So just a little bit of yellow ochre with and I mixed it with this salmon gum, but you could mix it with salmon gum is a PV19. So, like a magenta color, and actually I got like magenta. So let's go. Light magenta is PV19 and PW6. So let's take a little bit more of that yellow ochre and mix it in there. And you just get the same color. Yep. You just get about the same color. So, that's good to know. That's good to know. And our last color that I have is this color. It's a golden color. It's an acrylic. And it is called Titan Mars. And it is PV19. And no, it's PBR6 and PW6. So PBR6 is like a brown color, but this is just a muted peach. And I'll write these down and put them. It's nice. This is kind of a nice way to put on paint, acrylic paint, in small areas. And all I have around me are my watercolor brushes. And this is really a flesh tone. So you could get a little bit of your salmon gum and make it more peachy. Which is nice. All right, so now that we've got those out of the way, I'm gonna go to watercolor. So watercolor is, your mixing principles are gonna be the same. You're going to only, instead of your white, you're gonna wanna use water. So what I'm gonna do, let's pull this down here and let's zoom out. And right here I've got my Spring Floral palette and I've got my Rosa Gallery palette. So I just got this Spring Floral palette out because I knew it had, you can use raw sienna, you can use yellow ochre, but I have a quinacridone red here. And you can buy, like I said, you know, you can buy your peachy colors that are pre-mixed in watercolor in Legacy Brands. That's a Holbein. So I think they have one called Shell Pink as well. But I'm just going to pre-mix here, or mix up a peach color by using quinacridone red and yellow ochre. And we're going to get a really pretty peach color. If you want it a little bit more warmer, you can put a little bit more yellow ochre. And it'll get a little orangier. And if you want it a little bit less pigment, lighter in color, you just take some of that pigment off. And the best way I've learned to take pigment off a brush is, oh, that's so pretty. That's so pretty. So the best way I've learned to take pigment off a brush is to, if I've got my brush loaded with pigment and it's a full-on color, but that's too dark, then I just take my water and I just dip it once and take it against the side of the take it against the side of the water container, and then that'll make it lighter. That'll take pigment off the brush and make it lighter. That is really pretty. It's a nice peachy color. So that's how you make peach. That's how you make peach. So there's another way you could make it. You could take cadmium lemon from the Rosa Gallery and like this alizarin or madder red, and let's get a little bit more cadmium lemon. Now this makes it more on the orangey side, but here is that. So I always go for a cool and a cool. So a cool red and a cool yellow, and that will give you more of a peach color. But I like it better if I go with like a quinacridone red or a alizarin crimson, and then go with yellow ochre or raw sienna. I think it comes out a little bit better. This comes out just a little bit orangey. So let me know if you have another way that you like to make orange. Let me know. I'll try it. I'm always looking for good color mixing recipes. I found this deep delve. Oh yes, I was going to show you another thing. In that book that I reviewed, it was called Palette Perfect. I found some good, you know, that peach color will go with just about anything. And I'm not talking the actual Pantone color peach fuzz. I'm talking about just a peach color in general. And I went through this book, Palette Perfect, and found some really interesting ways that they use peach in the landscape, peach with flowers. Let me zoom in. This is so neat. I'll link this book below. It's so inspiring. There's little peach flowers. I would love to paint that. And peach, oh look, peach in the landscape. I love this. There's one I love even more. Okay, there's some different palettes with peach. It'll go well with pastels. It'll go well with bold colors. Oh, look at that. Look at that abstract. Isn't that beautiful? With that peach with that dark mauve-y pink. And along with that green. Oh, isn't that beautiful? And look at it with this eggplant color. Look at that. There's dark pinks with the peaches. Oh, I love that. I love that peach dress with the white dress. That is so pretty. I got more. Oh, look at this one. This peach and pink and aqua coral. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. I'm gonna try that palette. I don't know if I'll try that, but I'm gonna try the palette. And then you know, it's kind of giving you, you can put it with your greens to give you a feel of nostalgia. There's peach and brown and sort of a mint green and a beige. So pretty. So pretty. And then look at this. There's the peach with just some simple illustrations of plants. That is so adorable. I think that would be pretty on, you know, your journal calendar or something. Isn't that pretty? And it's got your CMK numbers and your RGB numbers here to get the actual greens, kind of like a Pantone. So I don't know if this is by Pantone. This is by Lauren Wager, author of the blog Color Collective. I'll link this below because this is a really inspirational book. I really love this book. And another thing I found is a book that I bought at Barnes & Noble. And it's called Crayola, the visual biography of the most world famous crayon. And I was just thumbing through here and I thought, oh, let me see if I can find peach in here. So, and historically. And it's more about the history of the crayon and the colors and, you know, how they came up with the names of the colors and, you know, just how they came up with colors. There's a picture of Mr. Rogers. It's a really interesting book. So I'm glad I have it because it just goes through the history, you know, of all the products that Crayola has purchased or has created. And it's just such a cool book. But I went through here and I thought, okay, let's see if I can find peach. And I did. And there's two colors here. And this one is in the box of 96 and it's called Outrageous Orange. And this one is in the box of 48 and it's called Melon. So there you go. I think this is just a cool book. And then you could tell, you know, if you've got grandkids or kids and you say, oh, okay, now get out your melon and get out your navy blue and get out your green. We're going to make a picture. So I think this is just a cool color. I like it in sunrises and sunsets and in touches of nature. So that's probably where I'll be using this color. So thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you if you subscribe and like this video if you think that I've provided value to you, and I will see you next time. Bye.